Today, a bird's eye view of western North Carolina looks like this, dotted with roads wiped off the map, cutting off entire communities where Helene's torrential flooding changed lives overnight.
We wanted to update you guys. Last time you saw us film an episode about the hurricane, it was basically the day after it happened, and it was a very horrible situation. And we wanted to update you guys and kind of fill you in with just some of the things we've done, because I know a lot of you guys have donated from $1 to who knows how much.
And food. And
the food, it's been unbelievable. And so we wanted to give you guys an update and show you what we've done and what we're still doing, because the sad part is the news and everyone's already starting to forget about what has happened in North Carolina, and it's a horrible situation. We were just there yesterday. Let me pan to a few of these clips, and you guys could kind of see just the devastation it looks like current today. As you're looking at all these clips, you could see cars are absolutely destroyed. Houses literally had water up to the top of the roof. Some of these people were even taking shotguns and shooting it through the ceiling just to get on top of the roof because they were that full of water. You'll see just trash everywhere. It almost looks like a war zone happened without a war. And the war was the water. The river overflowed. It grew 40 foot tall and overflowed the entire town. So imagine
in 40 minutes.
Yeah, so a foot a minute is what the river grew, which is unheard of.
So just a quick update with everyone's donations and everything that we're doing, 100% of it is going to help all these people. So I think I don't know how many, but it's over 20 semi-truckloads of food and water supply all the way up there. Now what we're doing is we're seeing so many families in tents and in shelters, and I can't even imagine going home and everything is gone. My entire house is just history. It's not even there. And then I'm having to take my family and go to a tent and or a shelter. So with every dollar we're donating now, we're starting to buy trailers. And this video is showing these people that had all this devastation that are either living in a tent or a shelter, and now all of a sudden they're getting a camp trailer that they can bring their family together on, and it's theirs. We're literally signing the title over. No obligation, it's theirs. It's theirs for a new start. If they get back on their feet and they want to pay it forward, we're telling them, give the trailer to someone else, and or if you need to sell it to help feed the family when your house is done, it's theirs.
It's been pretty awesome. I want to actually kind of overlay some footage of when we got the trailers. Our entire family was out there. Even my little daughter, we were out there.
She worked hard
for 3 days getting these trailers ready. And as you can see, we have pots and pans. We have different food things. We have bedding. We went and bought all new pillows, all new blankets, dishware, forks and knives, lighters. These are little things that we all take kind of for granted every day because we're used to it. These are things that these families do not have. And the clips we're about to show you guys of just a few of these families, it's pretty unbelievable on just the excitement. And I can't even explain on how sad we have been in situations just because how bad it is. So before we get to those and we kind of show you a few of the families, we just wanted to say thank you to every single person watching, or if you're watching this for the first time and you kind of see what we're doing here and want to help, I'll put the links in the description. There's 2 different ways you could donate. We actually partnered up with our church that we've gone to forever, Valley Bible Fellowship. They're out of California, where we're originally from. And they have a nonprofit set up specifically for this hurricane relief, and it's been unbelievable. I mean, it's been so great that we've been able to bless 4 families with a new home. That, to me,
is huge.
I mean, I know one day, that this is going to matter to everyone involved when we're all up in the big skies up there. And they always say that you do things out of the kindness of your heart and you'll be blessed up there. And that's what this is about, is helping people.
So yeah, if you guys, all we've asked for is like $1 or $2. That's it. We're not looking for, give us some whatever. If you guys could give $1 or $2, we've been able to do everything that we've done with that same thing. Give us, $1 to help the people, and we're going to continue showing you what the reward is to these families. And they're thankful. I mean, wait till you see this footage. It's unbelievable. So thank you in advance. Thank you for all the people that have already helped. The support has been unbelievable.
So let's cut to a few of the amazing people we met, and we'll show you guys kind of their situation. This is the first one. Shane, a mudslide came down and literally took out his entire house. He said he was in his house, and he knew where his house was because it's actually kind of up on a mountain that the water levels wouldn't affect his house. And he was right. So he said he went outside and he was trying to divert the water away from his bridge so the water didn't wash out his bridge. And next thing he knows, he walks back in his house where his girlfriend was, and they just hear all this rumble. And what happened is there was so much rainwater that it washed the entire mountain down and caused a mudslide literally through his house. It pushed in the whole living room wall. The impact hit so hard, it pushed the whole house off the whole foundation 3 foot. And this was a double wide trailer that he just purchased. He said he owed $69,000 on this house still.
His first home.
First home. And the sad part is this. He had no mud insurance. He had no flood insurance. So this is a complete loss. And now he still owes about $70,000. But as you're looking at these photos, you can see just the foundation on how destroyed it is. When it moved the house, it went off the foundation and dropped, and it shoved all the concrete pillars through the entire floor of his house. And when it did that, his whole house kind of crumbled and bent. There's no way to save his house. It is an absolute total loss.
Yeah, and the second one is this gal named Kimberly. Kimberly is disabled. She has her son that he wasn't living there, but he moved back here to help her. Her story is she was right on the river that
Literally.
raised 40 feet. Now, this house has been in Kimberly's family 3 generations. The house literally filled up with water halfway. And the only thing that she got out of the house is where you're going to see this footage of all this stuff on the ground. That's it. That's the only thing she has. You can see her Bible made it.
With all this being said, this is already 2 families, and it's so sad. And there's actually tags on these houses that I think the government's putting on them, and they're actually deeming them unsafe. So literally, if you cannot go in your house and sleep, even if you wanted to, it's actually illegal.
And when they tag that, then another organization comes in and takes everything out of the house and piles it outside, and they haul it all off. And when I mean everything, as you can see in these videos, it's stripped down to the boards. There's not one thing left in it. But if there's one family, this lady here, oh my gosh.
Sweetheart.
It would make anybody cry.
Yeah, I was teary-eyed multiple times, and every time I look through all the pictures, it just makes me just so thankful that, we have a home to live in and a family to hug and things like that. A lot of these families have lost their loved ones, and because no one knew that this was even happening.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, when we were at Kimberly's house, we were in a section, and that kind of caught me off guard that when I was over there. But her son told me that's where they found 6 bodies.
They finally cleaned them, but that's where the bodies were, where that caution tape is.
Oh, there's bodies right here?
There was, yeah.
How many?
I think 6.
Oh my gosh.
They just kind of washed into the debris,
And it really tore me up. It was definitely an eye-opening situation. That's why we just want to keep helping. The hard part is we're at a situation to where we've spent all of our donations and we've put so much money into this ourselves that it's like, all right, how could we keep going? And so that's why we're like, you know what, maybe we just kind of take a video to show you guys and in our church and things like that. But this brings me to the next family that I want to talk about. So Anva and Brandon, they were the 2 family members that we actually met, but she has her mom and they have other siblings
she's about
too.
80,
Yeah.
and she's disabled.
Yeah, and so Anva was just a beautiful person. When we showed up there, she
Cried.
immediately started crying and just kind of weeping, and you could just tell that she's been through so much. Her voice was gone, and I didn't really understand why until we actually looked at her house, and then I realized she stayed in her house, and there's so much mold in her house. Actually, look at this video. Right when I walked in, I got a whiff, and then I kind of caught me off guard, and then I smelled it again, and I said, everyone get outside. Like, that's how bad the mold was in her house. Her house completely destroyed.
We went through every room. It was actually all right. Kind of
Mine would be wearing a mask.
Yeah, it might not be good to walk in here. It's still standing, and everything was still intact, but the amount of water that went inside of her house, and the amount of time that water sat inside her house, there's so much mold, and I know mold is extremely dangerous. I don't think, even if she wanted to salvage anything in that house, I don't think it would even be safe for her to go get anything. That's how bad it was.
She said she woke up, got out of bed, and stepped in 3 foot of water at 7 in the morning. And so they ran down to her mom, because she's disabled, has whatever the beds are, and her son had to hold her mom up for over an hour and a half, and they didn't know what to do because they couldn't get out. And they just sitting there waiting, and they said after about 2.5 hours, the water started going down and down and down a little bit, but there was nothing else they could do, so they were scared to death, all 3 of them in that house.
Yeah, and where their house was it was actually elevated pretty decent, and so they still had I think she said like 3 to 4 foot of water in it, but this family, this is what it's about. I mean, seeing this family so thankful, it's just like it makes our hearts. My mom was there too. My mom was crying. It makes our hearts, everything, just so sad. And what was amazing is we just gave this family a trailer. We all walk outside after giving them the trailer. This car randomly pulls up, and I'm like, "What's going on?" He holds a $100 bill out the window. He said, "I'm here to give you this."
Can you use any of it?
I'll come all the way from Clayton, Georgia. Take it, pass it out.
And Anva was right there, and she started crying, and he hands her the money. He said, "Everything in this car is for you." And so he immediately jumps out of the car, starts unloading everything. I'm like, oh my gosh. And
Tons of stuff.
Then what the other crazy part was is I just thought that this moment was so cool to have a guy named Mike that we actually met there. He used to be a pastor, and I see all this happening. I'm like, hey, everyone, do you mind if we all get together? I said, Mike, can you say a prayer for this entire family? And so we all huddled up, and man, that gives me chills thinking about this. We all huddled up, and Mike says this just beautiful prayer, and it was just the coolest moment ever. I mean, having everyone there, having this family that has literally gone through this, and with your guys' help and my family's help, we were able to give them a new home. It was just...
I've never seen a family so thankful.
And guess what? I get to fix Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, there you go. You can do a little dinner action.
Yeah.
I love that. It was amazing.
Not only that, we left for about an hour and a half to deliver the next trailer, and Brad wanted to get a plant for everybody, so we went and got plants, brought it back. When we brought it back, she already had her mom in the trailer, which we hadn't met.
Yeah.
And this lady she had the biggest, most thankful smile on her face. It was, I can't even explain the feeling.
Yeah, it was awesome. And the last trailer that we delivered, unfortunately we weren't able to meet the family, but basically the story with the family is the local sheriff there, which was a good old boy we met. He completely lost his house. He lost his businesses. He had other businesses other than being an officer, and just everything he owned. And he was there just helping his employee, which is the family that
he was a sheriff?
Yeah. His employee that we gave the trailer to, he had young kids. I think one was under 1, and I think one was 4.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is we drove by their house.
It was gone.
Nothing left. Nothing.
Well,
in fact,
there
was someone out there in a skid steer moving stuff. It was nothing.
Dirt. There was a piece of dirt, and they're living in a shelter.
Yeah.
A brand new family in a shelter. I can't even imagine it.
So we were able to get the trailer on the sheriff's property, which was kind of close to where their house got destroyed, And again, we didn't get to meet that family, but I can
our buddy Rob got us the generators from Polaris, so every trailer has an awesome generator in it too. I mean, it's going from a shelter to this trailer is going to be unbelievable. Going from a house to a trailer and you had to live in it is kind of hard. But when you go from a house and then you have nothing to a shelter, and then all of a sudden 30 days later you have a trailer that's fully self-contained, it's a thankful feeling. And it's just, I don't know, with all the support that we've already got from everybody, I can't even explain how good of a feeling it is. Hopefully the video will show you how that feeling is.
Yeah, and we weren't able to get really any footage, but the few pictures and things you guys saw. And the thing is it's not about that. It's about helping these families, but also at the same time, what you guys got to realize is I wanted to try and get a few different videos and pictures, and I asked every family for permission, because I also think it's important to tell everyone that has donated and everyone currently donating where the actual dollars are going. Like, we're not
100% of them.
We're not some huge foundation or anything like that. It's my dad and I and my family putting all this together along with all you, and so I thought that it would be important, and I mean I would want to know, like, if I put in $50, where did it go? Like, most huge organizations, you never know where your dollars go, and so that's why with this video I thought that it would be important that if we can, and I asked every family, hey, can I get a picture or even say something to our church and the people that has donated, and they were so thankful to allow me to do that. And that's what was cool about it. And I know it's very touchy, and it was just amazing, you guys. And all I gotta say is that, this is God's work at the end of the day. It's, this is, if it was our family or any of your family in that situation, we would hope that others were out there. So if anyone watching this could take anything from it, my recommendation would be put yourself in these people's shoes. If a disaster happens by you, or if it's a disaster like this, you have a spare second. I don't care if it's just time. Get out there and do something. I mean, this is sad. The government's not doing anything for these people. The only thing the government's doing is giving them a small loan, and then they're tying it to their house. And maybe one day, if they don't, pay that off, the government's literally going to come take their house. It's pretty sad, but I will say, so many people have come together, and it's been amazing. So again, the whole point of this video, thank every single one of you. We're going to keep trying everything we can. We haven't even worked our full-time job in 3 weeks or so, and it's been pretty crazy, but it's been amazing. The feeling that I've got in my heart, I know my dad, I mean, it's been pretty amazing. So thank you guys.
Thank you.